Hello and welcome. It is day 59 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. So let's get an opponent here and begin. All right, so we have the white pieces, e4, and they play c5. Okay, so knight to f3. Now, let's see. We can go ahead and play this, attacking. Now we're ready to castle as well. Okay. Well, we'll just ignore them, go ahead and castle. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now, should we pick off the bishop here? Or sorry, should we pick off the knight with our bishop? Will that accomplish anything? Probably not, because they've moved over here, so we probably just need to retreat. But, where is best? I think we'll just move all the way down to here. Which, I don't know. Was that good or not? Because, okay, now they attack here. Could just play, I don't know, more closed and positional by going here. All right, we'll just do this, see what they play, because now maybe this will confuse them. We could try and jump our other pawn up here, get a Maroczy bind type structure. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. Jump our knight up in there. Okay, so now we have to develop our bishop. So I'll go here to try and keep his knight from moving forward. Then develop the other bishop there. All right, so now this game could go on for a while because there's nothing being captured here. Okay, if he tries to go here, we can capture, and then our knight will capture. So we're good there. We could try and press forward here. If he captures, our knight captures, but then his other knight could jump into here. So, what do we want to do? Bring our queen up, probably, and connect our rooks. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now our rooks are connected. So next we have to decide where we want to put our rooks. Oh, now he could move here. Maybe he's bringing his bishop over to b7, but I probably should have played a4 maybe to help cover this. Well, now I can. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then if he pushes forward, we just capture. So that kind of helps us out. All right, so what will they play next? Probably just, he could put his bishop right here, lining it up down through the middle towards my king side. I need to figure out if I want to move this pawn forward or not. If I do that, though, it could give his knight a place to jump here on c5 if I push this forward and he captures. So now, should I jump my knight out of the way? That is the question. Jump the knight out of the way. Or should I push this pawn? If he captures, I move into the middle. And I'm threatening to jump up here. And, is there any kind of attack over here? Sacrifice the bishop. The pawn captures. The queen captures. But this knight is stopping me, so... I don't think I can do anything. If I get 2 pawns for the bishop, my queen ends up here. But the knight is guarding this square. All right, if I move forward, he just captures me. He's protected. I could move this knight out of the way here, jump this pawn up, try and get an attack going here, then maybe jump the knight back in, but that'll take a little while. I don't know, and that kind of weakens my king side a little bit. But it would gain me some space on the king side. All right, so at least they're really thinking about what to do. Okay, so that is not what I was expecting. Okay. Well, now he probably wants to push forward here. So if he pushes forward and we capture, he captures, well then we just capture. So I think we're good there. Do we just push this pawn forward? Like I said earlier, though, that would allow him to bring his knight in. But I don't know. Our bishop is covering. But I don't want to give up my bishop pair. So let's see. If I push forward, well, then he can just move forward. All right. Where do we put this rook? Right here, maybe? Bring the rook to the center. All right, we'll just do that before we burn off too much time, which we already did. How much time did we use there? 1.5 minutes. I shouldn't have taken that long. And we kind of have to keep this knight here to guard his knight from jumping forward. Although, if we move, and his knight does do that, we can jump here, but then he could jump back to here. Maybe we could push forward. All right, what now? Should we... Okay, he's probably going to reposition his bishop down this diagonal. So... We'll go there, trying not to burn up too much time. Then we can bring our rook to the B file. Because if he's going to push forward, thinking that might be what he wants to do. Okay, so he lines up there. We'll go ahead and go there. All right. Well, now we can attack that by going here. And we can gain some space. All right. But then he'll have two pieces lined up on this. All right. Well, I think we'll do that. And then maybe we push this pawn up to help cover everything. All right, so I don't know, this game is really kind of crazy. No pieces have been captured, no pawns have been captured yet. All right, so he finally decides to break through. Well, usually it's best to capture towards the center. So should we do that? Or do we attack his knight? Now he can just capture there. So capture towards the center or go the other way. All right, we're going to be left with this isolated pawn, but oh, we could go after this pawn. All right, well, I guess we're going to start trading off. We'll capture towards the center. Okay, now do we capture further? Do we capture with the knight? Go that way. All right. Well, do we go after his bishop or do we just push this pawn? I say we just push this pawn, but he can't move his queen here and threaten a mate because of our bishop. So, all right. And we're threatening to pick this off and go after his unprotected bishop here. Ooh, we have to watch out. Our unprotected bishop here. If our queen moves up and if this bishop and our queen move, his rook is lined up on our e2 bishop here. So that could be an issue. But we're still aimed at this pawn over here. All right. Well, here we could just move up here, target this. All right, queen. All right, we target this. Then what? We target this. All right, we're just going to go there. And attack his bishop. So if his bishop moves, it has to move to defend his knight. At which point we can pick this off. Ah, okay, crap, I didn't see that. All right, well, we can still pick that. We can still pick this pawn off on a6. Or do we attack this right here? All right, I'm going to go after that. He's probably going to attack my queen with a developing move of this bishop here. So what do we do then? All right, so that was kind of expected. All right, do we just drop back here? Do we just drop back? Do we have another threat? All right, well, if we drop back, or should we go here? Does that make a difference? No, we'll go there and keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on this bishop, and this knight. All right, well, let's see here. What do we need to be doing? We could drop down here. But then that'll break our pawns apart, I guess, if he captures. All right. But it'll open up this, a half open file for this rook. What should we do here? That is the question. All right, well, we have to capture that way. So we might as well do that. Okay, so he wants to put the pressure on there. Well, at least we can attack his... that didn't work. He just captures with check. He just captures with check. All right, now, do we have a little trick here? Can we just go there? Let's think about this. If we go here and he just captures, then we capture over here. All right. Okay, I don't know. This is looking bad. If we move our knight up here and he captures, and we go here, well, then he has to run. Where does he run to? Back to here. All right, anyway, we'll go ahead and do that. At least we're attacking this as well. Maybe that'll throw him off a little bit. All right, so what does he do here? Oh, does he? Well, no. Oh, okay, so he does that, which is probably... Oh, is that a mistake or not? Well, we should at least pick that off. All right, so we'll go ahead and break his pawns up. And now, what do we do? Okay, material-wise, he's ahead by a pawn, but he has these broken pawns here. Ah, man. Okay, do we knock this out? Then we jump up to here. He'll just protect. So maybe it's better. Maybe it's better to avoid this trade and just take the open file. So I think we'll do that. Get both of our rooks lined up where they can do something. Maybe here and here. We can go after these pawns. All right. The problem is he could swing over the other way. You know, he could go after this right here. So that could be dangerous. All right, well. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to try and trade off material up there. All right, well, we'll go there then. So that way if he goes over here, we can pick that off and then we can go after this pawn over here. But either way, we can bring our other rook up here, try and pick this off. Try and go after this all right, so we want to bring both of our rooks up here, targeting this pawn. You know, and then what do we want to do? We want to watch out that he doesn't get some kind of counterattack down here on our king. All right, well, let's go here immediately. At least we get our pawn back, and then we'll have 3 pawns to his 3, but we'll have this passed pawn over here. But I don't know, it's still going to be tough. This game is probably drawish unless he can get a counterattack going over here. All right, well, that works because now we can just pick off the other one. Now we're threatening to pin the bishop to the king. Okay, are there any tactics? Any tactics? All right, well, at least with our rook up here, we're keeping his king restricted. So now, what do we do? Do we go up here after his bishop, but then, the bishop could just move, I guess. Then we could have a possible attack here. All right, I don't know. We should probably just... Do we just go after? Watch out. If I put that there... All right, we'll just do that. Now, if he... Oh, he could go here and try and target us. Could target... Now, if he does that, we'll fork him with the rook. If he goes here, we can pin him. So, I don't know. It's not too bad so far. He could just check us. What do we do then? Does it matter if we go to h2 or out here where he could check us again? So, all right. So he decides to do that. All right, now, should I go after his bishop? Or his rook, too, at the same time. I don't know. I mean, maybe we should just go after this other pawn over here. All right. Well, do we go here? Or do we just attack here? Oh, we don't want to do that because he could go there. And that could be dangerous. So, and we're running out of time here now. Okay. Do we just retreat all the way back here? Try to get behind? If we check, his king will come out. I don't really want him doing that. Not sure what to do here. All right. Do I swing over even further? If I move over here, what can the king do? Do I go there? All right, I'm just running out of time now. Do I check? Do I keep the king away from that? Do I go here, getting away? Do I help the pawn move forward? No. All right, we're just going to go back to there. We'll just try that. right, so now we're attacking both of these. We can go after that. But he'll probably just get behind our pawn over here. And his king is pretty activated, more than ours is. All right. Well, what do we do now? We have to get our king into the game. So let's do that. All right, I don't know. It's looking crazy now. So we drop all the way back here. We start pushing our pawn up. And then what do we do? So we need to move this pawn. Now if he checks us, what do we do then? We just move our king up, back and forth. All right, now what? Now what? Kind of crazy here. Kind of crazy. All right. Well, now we kind of ran out of moves. We just kind of ran out of moves here. if he checks us. All right, do I move over here, threatening this check? Like that. Is that a mistake? I threatened to go here. You know, is he just going to check me? Do I go there? Ah, man. Ah, come on. These end games are crazy. I shouldn't have let it get to this position. If he attacks me, I can go here, but I don't know. I have a check here possibly. And I only have, here I am down under a minute. All right, now what? Do we pick that off? Like that? This is a tough one. I'm just trying to hang in there and not lose because this pawn is getting ready to push forward. If he checks me, I capture, he goes here, then I just start pushing this pawn up and then I capture here. If he checks me with the rook here, I can jump forward. And then if he checks me again, I could pick this off. I don't know. It could be a draw here unless he has some crazy, other option. I'm threatening a check here and then pick this off with my rook. So what does he do here? If his rook captures here, well then what? We just check. Okay. Well now, what? We have to go here, it looks like. Then what? He picks this off. We check him. He takes the other pawn. Then we capture here. All right. Do we push our pawn? Now, do we have a passed pawn that's dangerous? Have to watch out there aren't any traps here. We'll go there. Oh, okay. Don't run out of time as well. So focus on the time. Definitely have to make sure that I do not run out of time here. He's got a minute and 20 something. I only have 31 seconds. So, all right, we'll go there. We'll just keep pushing that pawn. Okay, so now if we go here, that could be a problem. So let's do that. All right, so it's just a draw. That was a long, I don't know, pretty hard draw. So let's see in the game review what I could have done better. All right, so I played at 87.4. They played at 87.7. They had a blunder, so obviously I did not take advantage of the blunder that they gave me. And it looks like it's right here where I was ahead by plus 4.5. So it looks like I overlooked another opportunity. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Two great moves. They had one. We played 19 best moves. They played 23. Okay, so inaccuracies. I had 4. They had 1. Mistakes. I had 1. They had 3. But I had 3 misses, and they had 1 blunder. All right, so the game review here. We played the Sicilian defense here. They drive our bishop back, and then, I don't know, the game just got kind of all clustered up here in the middle game. All right, so we're coming on this big blunder here. So rook takes c8 is a great move. This is a way to win a bishop. Oh my gosh, did I overlook a fork? Again with these. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I could have just forked here. I did it again. So there's a pattern developing where I'm not using these rooks. I'm missing rook moves. I could have just won the game right here with rook to d8. Rook to d8. So move 32. Or 33 for me should have been rook to d8, and I totally missed that and went for the pawn. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And then, I don't know, I could have at least gone for this pawn and the other one. Can't believe I missed that. All right, we'll look at that in the analysis. Oh my gosh, what is that? I could have just won the game there with rook to d8. Another missed opportunity. All right, I'm just missing too many like moves that could have won the game. All right, a5 is a mistake. The game was close to equal, but now black is ahead. So best would have been moving this up, I guess, to keep the king from being able to come forward. All right. So anyway, I start moving up and pick this off. And then that. Okay. So it says king to e1 is a great move. Well, I have to stop this pawn. All right, so it says you had a pretty competitive game there. The opening was balanced. It was a well-fought middle game that you got the better of. You both played a nice end game. So 2000 versus 2000. And the opening was 97 versus their 96.1. The middle game was 90.5 versus their 83.7. And then endgame 81 versus 87.6. So I could have played that endgame better. All right, let's look at the analysis here. Oh, I hope I didn't yell too loud and blow your eardrums out there. Okay, so let's take a look here. We played e4, c5, the Sicilian defense. So we bring the knight up. That way we can possibly play d4. They play d6. But first we play bishop to b5 here. Aimed at their king. And they block with their knight here, which is pretty interesting. So, I don't know. I didn't want to give up the bishop pair. It says c4 here is the best move. But I castle. And now they attack. So bishop to e2 is what the computer recommends. And now they develop their other knight. So here d3, and that's what the computer likes best, protecting this pawn with the d3 pawn push. Okay, so they just slowly move their pawns here, making room for this bishop to possibly develop here. All right, c4, we set up what's called the Maroczy bind, where you have a pawn on c4 and e4 in the Sicilian defense. And it's supposed to kind of slow down this d5 move. Although, let's see, well, if they play that now, we capture, they capture, we capture. It leaves us with an isolated pawn, I guess. So they could play d5. So instead of c4, it recommends a4 here. All right, so we move up with that pawn. They develop their bishop. It wants this immediate pawn push on the queen side because now, I don't know, if they push that, what do? We just probably develop this, and then they can gain space or they can capture. Either way. So we just develop the knight. They castle. So I play this h3 move, I guess, to keep the knight out of here. I was trying to figure out what to do next. I wanted to put my bishop on e3, and I didn't want his knight harassing it. But it looks like an immediate pawn push here would have been better. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like d4 is what the computer wants there, to just gain space in the center. All right, so we go here. We just slowly are maneuvering here, developing pieces. It still wants that d4 move. All right, what was that? It wanted my bishop to go over here. Well, then I guess from here the bishop could reposition back here and keep an eye on the center. All right, so it doesn't like this move, the first inaccuracy, I think. Yeah, that was the first one. So b3. Instead, that puts the game slightly in black's favor. Once again, we should have just played d4. They would attack towards the center. Then we capture with the knight. And then recommended is queen to c7. Putting some pressure on this pawn, but also bishop to b7 could have been an option. And that's to keep this knight from jumping up here as well and forking the rook and the queen. So here we should just go f3, just fortify this e4 pawn. Okay, back to the game. We played b3. They put this bishop on this nice diagonal here. I wasn't sure what was best here, so I just put my rook over here. And then they push forward. It looks like they should have immediately just broken the center open. Okay, so this move, it says this is excellent, but queen to c2 would have been better, which makes sense because then that would kind of line the rook up on the queen. Capture, capture. Oh, it recommends capturing with the pawn. So, which would have made sense because then, what do they recommend here? He'd probably capture with the knight, something like that. And then it's recommended that we capture. Then his bishop would capture. And now d4. So d4. Here the recommendation is to ignore this attack here and just play bishop up to b7. And then what do? Looks like we should ignore this as well and go with knight. Knight to g4. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I guess if he moves here, we can capture. You're threatening to move here, but the knight could capture, and then they could just maybe chase me away. Maybe that's what they want to do, kind of provoke a weakness in the king side. Now we have queen to e7, lining up on this bishop. So we should play bishop to c4. Okay, well, I'm going too far into that. So in the game, we captured with our knight, which is an inaccuracy, and now black has the advantage here because of that. And usually you want to capture with the pawns first. If you have an option of capturing with a piece or a pawn, in general, it's probably better to capture with the pawn first instead of the piece. So they capture, we capture, the bishop captures, and now d4 is the best move. Bishop to b7 is best, but they play capture, and now, all right, queen was the best move, and I was unsure if I should have captured with the bishop instead, because now they have, they played this move, and that was a mistake. They should have played bishop to e4. Okay, bishop to e4, immediately attacking my rook. Okay. Well, let's take a look at that. Bishop to e4, attacking the rook. The rook should move to the open file. And then knight to c5, threatening a fork here. So then, oh man, queen to c3 is recommended. Queen to e7. Anyway, another way the game could have gone, but let's see what actually happened. They moved this knight out of here. And now it looks like knight to g4 is the best move, and we didn't find that right away. I ended up moving there later, but I picked this pawn off, and that was a miss. So, better would have been to what? Play that. Then bishop to e4. Queen captures. So it looks like queen captures. Rook captures. Knight captures, breaking apart the pawns. Rook captures. Rook recaptures. And now rook to c1, taking the open file here. Now they recommend b5. b5. We would capture, they would capture, and then bishop takes b5. Why would... Oh, okay. Well, no, because if they tried to attack with the rook, we could just move here and protect. I don't know about that variation. We're just ahead now. They could have dropped back maybe and tried to defend, possibly earlier, defend that pawn. But now they just recommend king to g7 and then bishop to c4, protecting the pawn. Okay, in the game we captured here. They attack our queen. Queen to f4 is the best move. But instead I retreated. Oh, now it's saying moving back here would have been better. They capture, I capture. I wanted to protect this pawn though, but I guess, can I really do that? And then I ended up playing this move, which didn't do anything because there's an attack here. It looks like, I guess I should have looked for that move. Knight to f4. Then what? Queen to a7, attacking over here. Bishop to b5, attacking the rook. Rook to e5, helping protect. And now, what? e4? Huh. It says that's the best move. So then we give up the pawn. Something like this. Bring this rook over. I guess we're still even in material here. And then, then what do we do? They have rook to f8. Oh, wait, sorry, over here, rook to f8. Why would you go to f8? Rook to f8. Guess you're trying to stop any back rank attacks there. Well, now it doesn't like that. It wants bishop to d5. Anyway, here we have b4. Start moving that up, but now it wants this move. So the computer's kind of unsure and the game's just even there. Okay, so we trade off material here. They go ahead a pawn, or is it even now? Okay, it's even right now. And here the best move is b4. Because this, I kind of overlooked this, the bishop and the rook lining up here. So I go after this. They capture. It looks like I should have just captured, although they're giving me other options. Knight takes f6 was okay, but now it's saying I should have just captured there. All right, so we break up their pawns on the king side. We activate our rook, but it's saying instead we should have just captured. They would capture. Now rook to d4. Centralizing, or up here to d6, and now it's saying we should go after this right here. But I don't know if they do something like that, then what do? They want us to bring our king up into the game, which is probably something I should have focused on there. All right, here we go. We just start attacking with both rooks. And this is the blunder that I did not take advantage of. Oh my gosh, how did I overlook this? Okay, what should they have played? Rook to b1, b2, or a3. They could have just checked me maybe. Rook to b1 check, rook to b2. Maybe rook to b2 is good because it keeps the king kind of blocked out. Now they're saying that's best. And then bishop to c4. Bishop takes c4. rook takes c4, and then b5. They can push forward, get rid of these pawns. If we capture, then what? They capture. Or they could check us first here. But I don't know. They would probably do something like this to keep control of the back rank. But now we pick this off. If they go to g7, like this, then what do we do? They're protecting that. They want us to double up here, threaten this. Rook at 8 to b7, protecting, and now king up to h2. And then they can start pushing this forward. We go here. Rook takes f5. Rook takes. King to g6 to protect the pawn. And then rook to f3, f4, or even rook to c5. And then, I don't know, it's probably a drawn endgame here. Okay. But in the game, how did I overlook this move? This is probably the fourth rook, like major rook move that I missed in a game. So right here, I should just fork the king and the bishop. And then what? What does the king do? King to e7 or king to g7. So, and I had 5 minutes left on the clock, so I don't know. I guess I just went blind. So, here we just pick this off and then we're ahead. So after what? Rook to e3. King could attack. If we go after that, well then what? If he plays rook to e6, well then we might as well just capture. The computer recommends rook to c7, but I don't know, we could just go ahead and capture. If they capture, now we have a whole extra bishop. They recommend bishop to c4, but I don't know, I'd probably want to start bringing my king up to help with things. Now recommended is f5, king to e3, e5, bishop to e2, and king to f6 here. And how would the game go next? Maybe g4, trying to break these pawns. So you want to get rid of the pawns. Capture. Well, now what? You're kind of running out of options here. King to e6. Now we have king to e4. And I don't know, we're just winning here from this point. We're going to pick this off if the king moves away. We'll just force the king back because he's kind of in a zugzwang position where whatever he does here, he's just going to be in trouble. Okay. In the game, I just totally missed this fork. So captured the pawn. Now the game is about even. The king moves up to the center. We go there. And oh my gosh, I just made the game like way harder than it had to be. So we move back. It likes that. And then this. It does not like this move. Bishop to c4 is an inaccuracy. Rook to a1 would have been better. So rook to A1, getting behind the passed pawn. Now F5, bishop to F1, helping guard and protect our king, getting ready to push this forward. King just moves over. A5, king to B7. Oh, sorry, up here. And now, what? Rook to A4. Oh, that's kind of surprising. All right, rook to A4. Then what do they recommend? King to A7, getting in front of the passed pawn. Bishop to C4. Now they recommend trying to trade this off, but it looks like the recommendation is to ignore that, play rook to B7, and then what? We could just go ahead and capture. If they capture, rook to H4, attacking over here, they would protect. The king could move forward. Oh wait, it's our turn now. So we just get our king activated. What do they recommend? H5. King tries to move up into the position. This is what I needed to do, is get my king active in the game. Now E5 to block the king's path forward. G4. Oh, that's an interesting move. So they recommend F4 check. Now you have these two passed pawns. King to F2 or E2. Oh, that's interesting. They don't even want you to go forward. I probably would have, well, maybe tried to go forward, but it says it's better to just back up. Then E4, G takes H5, rook to F7, protecting, but now we can start pushing forward. And they go here, check, king to F1, E3. Oh, this looks dangerous, man. Rook to E4, E2 check, king up to F2, king over to A6, and now H7, because they would have to capture here. Rook captures, king captures. What if they captured with check? Well, then you could just pick this off. It'd be a draw. Anyway, this would end in a draw. So bishop to C4. In the game, he moves over here. We pick that off. Then I needed to try and get my king more active. Now it's saying I should have swung over here and targeted this, which, I don't know, the game kind of went that way later. Okay, it didn't like that move, pushing my pawn to A5. Instead, H4. H4 is the best move. That. And then you'd think the king would just move right in there. Oh no, we'd end up losing this pawn. Okay. So E4 is best. Push the unopposed passed pawn. Then now A5. Rook to A4. Protecting this. But it's saying to bring the king over. King up to G3. Wow, that looks kind of dangerous. Now king to E5. Getting ready to push this other pawn. King back to F2. Rook to A2 check. King to what? F1 or G1 even. Rook to A1, check. King back to F2. Rook to A2. All right, enough of that. We played A5 in the game. They pushed forward, gaining space on us. I move up here. They start pushing forward. That's a mistake. Rook to A2 here would have been better for black, keeping them ahead. And then it looks like king to G1, followed by E4. Start pushing this past pawn. And now rook to G8. All right, or H8. But this way it keeps the king out and we can swing over here. So now, interesting. They recommend that. We check. Then the king jumps up to E3. Then we pick that off. They pick this off. We go rook to H8. They go rook to A1 check. King up to H2. King to F2. Although now it's saying it's better to move that pawn forward. So something like that. Rook to F8. King to D3. All right, they probably just do this. But then we start pushing over here. King to D3 is the best move. That is crazy. I guess they want you to go after this, and then this pawn will start marching. So here you have to go H5. They go E3. Rook to D8 check. Yeah, this is really crazy stuff here. So it just shows you how complicated rook endgames can be. Oh man, king to H3. They could check us here, but it says the best move is this. Then we go rook to E8. Rook to A7. To stop that pawn, I guess. King to G4. Rook to F7. Oh man, yeah, this is just crazy. I mean, this pawn can just march forward. What is the hold up here? It's recommending a rook to C8. Okay. I mean, why wouldn't you just push that? And now it says rook to E8. Yeah, now we're just losing. So I don't know. The computer is just having trouble in the end game. Okay, in the game they push forward. We have a miss here. So what did we miss? A mistake. Rook to A2 is better. Well, I guess they had a mistake. Rook to A2 check would have kept them in the lead. So let me look at this. Rook to A2 check would have been best. All right, but in the game we had rook to A8. They pushed that, but they should have moved their rook. Then we played A6, but instead we should have played rook to H8, swinging over here. But we didn't do that. So A6, the king moves up. I'm saying we should have moved down here. They attack. We block. They start moving the other pawn. Finally, we go after that, and the king moves. We capture with check. They swing over here, and we go after that pawn. Here, F4 would have been a good move, but instead they go that way. I mean, I guess getting ready to pick that off. And what if they just played F4? Well, then we could go here, and the king gets kind of trapped. Well, not really. The king could move up here. Oh, but then it's still kind of trapped. So anyway, I see why he didn't want to play that. So we have that. Capture, pawn moves. We block the pawn. The king captures. And now we start moving forward. Move forward. And here, rook to f8, rook to c5, or rook to f7. But now it's saying this is best. Just pick that pawn off because he goes after that and it's just a draw. All right, well, another draw and another missed opportunity. So I overlooked. This is, I think, like I said, maybe the fourth time I missed a rook move in the game that made a huge difference. So I have to focus on those rook moves. All right, well, thank you for watching the entire game. If you stuck around that long, feel free to leave comments, suggestions, requests if there's anything you want to see in future videos. And also, please like and subscribe to support the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day.